They all knew. The neighbors knew. His friends knew. Even his own family knew. Everyone, except him. Emeka spent 18 years raising a child that was not his. And the truth finally came out on his son's birthday. In the busy streets of Surulere, Lagos, Emeka was known as a good man. Not just a good man, not hardworking man. The kind who wakes up before sunrise and comes back home when the streetlights are already on. He worked at the port, long hours. Heavy lifting, no complaints. Everything he did was for his family, his wife, Ifeoma, and his son, Chidi. For the first 3 years of their marriage, there was no child. And in a place like that, people talk, quietly, but enough. His mother started asking questions. Even friends began to wonder. So when Ifeoma finally got pregnant, it felt like a miracle. Emeka celebrated like a man who had just been given the world. When Chidi was born, he spent almost all his savings on the naming ceremony. People ate well. People danced. People praised him. And from that day, Chidi became his whole life. He carried him on his shoulders, walked him to school, stayed awake during fevers, skipped meals just to make sure the boy had everything. As Chidi grew older, something didn't sit right. It started small. A look here, a whisper there. Have you seen that boy? He doesn't look like his father. At first, it sounded like noise. But the whispers never stopped. Chidi didn't look like Emeka. Not even a little. Emeka was dark, strong, broad. Chidi was tall, light-skinned, with sharp features. And then there was the gray patch in his hair. A strange mark that appeared when he was still young. But there was one man in the area who looked exactly like him. Chief Adeleke, a wealthy businessman, owner of the hardware store where Ifeoma once worked. If you saw them side by side, you wouldn't need anyone to explain. And yet, Emeka never saw it. Or maybe he refused to. Anytime someone hinted at it, he would laugh. My son takes after his mother. He believed it because he wanted to. Even his younger brother once tried to warn him. Brother, have you noticed the boy? But Emeka brushed it off. Look at his intelligence. That is what matters. And that was the painful part. The same intelligence people praised was the same thing linking the boy to another man. Ifeoma knew. Every single day. She knew. She lived in fear. Fear that one day everything would collapse. Every time someone looked at Chidi too long, her heart would race. Every time Chief Adeleke's car passed, she would quickly send the boy inside. It had started as a mistake. A moment of weakness. A time when she thought her marriage was failing. But that moment turned into 18 years. And the truth? It was no longer hidden. It was just unspoken. Until one day, someone said it out loud. It was Chidi's 18th birthday. A big celebration. Music. Food. Neighbors. Family. Emeka was proud. His son had just gotten admission to study medicine. That day, he felt complete, but not everyone understood the silence of that neighborhood. An old friend named Tony had just returned from abroad. He didn't know the rules. After a few drinks, he said it loud, carelessly. Emeka, this boy looks exactly like Chief Adeleke. The music kept playing. But for Emeka, everything stopped. He looked around. No one was shocked. No one argued. People avoided his eyes. That was when it hit him. They all knew. That night, the house was quiet. Too quiet. Emeka sat in the living room. Ifeoma stood across from him. Why did he say that? He was drunk. Emeka didn't respond. He walked to a drawer, took out an old photo of himself, then picked up a flyer with Chief Adeleke's face on it. He placed both on the table, then called Chidi. Stand here. The boy stood, confused. Emeka looked at all three faces. And this time, he couldn't ignore it. Tell me the truth. Silence. Then Ifeoma dropped to her knees. And that was enough. Everything broke in that moment. The days that followed were heavy. No shouting. No fighting. Just silence. Emeka moved into another room. He stopped speaking. Not just to Ifeoma, even to Chidi. And that hurt more than anything. Because Chidi was lost. The man he called father suddenly felt far away. The truth had taken his identity and replaced it with confusion. A week later, Chief Adeleke came. Dressed well, confident. I want to help, he said. I want to take responsibility. Emeka looked at him, long, quiet. For 18 years. Where were you? No answer. I was there when he was sick. I was there when he cried. His voice cracked. You don't get to come now and act like a father. Silence filled the room. You can keep your money, but you cannot take my years. Chief Adeleke left. And for the first time, he had nothing to say. In the end, Ifeoma left the house. She couldn't carry the shame anymore. Chidi went to university on his own effort. But every holiday, every break, he didn't go to Chief Adeleke. He came back to Emeka because blood is not what made him a father. It was everything he did. So now tell me, if you were Emeka, what would you do? Would you stay? Or would you walk away? Some secrets destroy families. Others reveal who truly matters. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next story.